I will seize fate by the throat. It shall certainly never wholly overcome me. Beethoven. The super elites are announcing their plans out in the open. Keep your friends and family aware. Like, subscribe, share these videos.
Climate change is happening. Such a truism, but it needs to be repeated over and over. Whether transition to a carbon neutral economy takes place in an orderly fashion or in a disorderly one, there will be impacts on the financial system. The disorderly one, there will be impacts on the financial system.
Lagarde just told you this is going to happen whether you like it or not, whether this happens in an orderly way or a disorderly way. Notice the smirk after she said a disorderly way. The powers that be know what they're doing. Everyone is unaware and they're getting away with theft on a massive scale. What can we do? We can decipher the lizard talk and prepare ourselves and family for what's coming. The financial system is going to align to this green energy initiative. The companies, the governments, everyone that gets bailed out, the free loans have stipulations. If you want to get bailed out, your company is going to need to align with the green energy initiative.
Asset owners and managers, we need you to act urgently to shift the trillions of dollars you invest towards the sustainable economy. Price in and disclose climate risks, and only pursue investments that have accounted for these risks. Ensure all your portfolios align with net zero goals.
The super elites are screaming from their ivory towers that asset owners and managers of wealth are to shift their investments towards green energy, towards companies that align with their goals. In the past few years, we have seen more institutional investors hedging their inflation risk with Bitcoin. MicroStrategy, Square are examples of this. The proof of work algorithm currently does not fit the net zero agenda. If this pattern continues, I suspect institutional investors will gravitate towards consensus-based coins as a hedge against inflation.
By leveraging market forces and the immense resources of the private sector, there is hope that we can transform the situation. But I'm afraid we are literally at the last hour, and there is real urgency for action. We know now what we have to do to rescue the situation, rather than going on talking about it.
This is urgent because of the debt. They're resetting the system to their ideals and philosophies. Blockchain technology enables them to lay out the groundwork for an entirely new system, that their rules are baked into the code, that they will sell it to the masses as fair, a convergence of technological innovation to, quote, level the playing field. The Great Reset is being sold as a way to track and accurately display human capital, quote, the social contract, that we need to reset capitalism so it's fair for everyone, including our environment. It's really about global socialism, and the ones that rule the world are going to benefit from the infinite inflation. The economists, the politicians, everyone on top, they'll be positioned.
The way we produce and consume electricity is changing. New technology is allowing us to make electricity at home, store it, and use it to power all of our daily needs. What's become apparent is that people want the ability to trade excess energy locally. To make this possible, a new support technology has been developed, and it's called Power Ledger.
The wealthiest people of this world rule this world. It has been like that since the dawn of civilization. This isn't a conspiracy theory, this is reality. The super elites are the invisible hands that guide the direction of civilization. Today they're pushing for green energy. Is this right? Is this wrong? It doesn't matter. It's going to happen. How do I know? Because they tell us out in the open. We need to listen, understand their plan, and position ourselves. Power Ledger is an example of how we can position ourselves.
Many countries will see long-lasting scars from this crisis and will not recover quickly. Against that background, it is natural that policymakers are focused on near-term policies to ensure that we remain headed in the right direction. But we must also seize this opportunity to create a more resilient and sustainable future. A great deal of fiscal stimulus will be laid on in the coming year. it will be critical to ensure that it is designed not only to boost near-term economic prospects, but also to address some of our longer-term challenges, including, of course, climate change.
Debt is going to melt straight up. They're going to partition that debt into the industries that they feel are fit while lining their pockets the whole way up. She states that a great deal of fiscal stimulus will laid on the coming year. QE is one thing, but fiscal stimulus is guaranteed inflation in the real economy versus isolated into the financial economy. What she is really saying is the cost of living is about to increase exponentially. What is going to happen in this coming year for them to justify all this physical stimulus? The same old problems or something new? Physical stimulus that they will deliver with central bank digital currencies and reset the system to the internet of value.
But we should keep in mind that the consequences will be considerably worse if the transition is disorderly. And we should also keep in mind that finance can and must play a key role in fueling and accelerating an orderly transition.
The petrodollar. For every fluid ounce of oil that is pumped out of the ground, it is priced in dollars. The USA is the beneficiary of this standard and has fought wars to keep the petrodollar. Understand, when the central bankers and governments fight oil with green energy, they're fighting the petrodollar standard.
Despite our concern with COVID presently, and we should be always aware, the Great Reset will not necessarily come from top to down. It will come from multiplied individual initiatives and engagement.
The decentralized future is the little guys participate to make up the bigger picture. Businesses and nations are going to move to net zero emissions simply because it's going to be too costly to operate with the taxes that they will impose. Therefore, green energy is going to be cheaper energy, less red tape. Blockchains will take on some of the burden of cost. Roll out digitization and green at the same time. One cost will cut the other cost.
Now there's Energy Web Origin, the first open source, customizable, decentralized application running on the Energy Web blockchain. Energy Web Origin records the provenance and automatically tracks the ownership of renewably generated electricity. By tracking renewable energy at the kilowatt-hour level, it opens the market to small and medium-sized players. It integrates more and better data, including marginal grid carbon emissions, while unlocking new functionality. It streamlines the process, making buying and selling renewable energy faster, easier, and cheaper. It creates a more consistent experience across geographies and markets. And it's designed for plug-and-play compatibility with existing regulations and tracking systems.
The super elites are going to max out debt and funnel this money into green energy and digitization. Energy Web Token is a platform that tracks companies' emissions. There are some huge partnerships like Shell that are listed on their website.
I'm very pleased to say that we have developed, also with the help of the big audit companies, Deloitte, EY, KPMG and PwC, we have developed a comprehensive system of metrics which allows to walk the talk. To date, this platform has been engaging more than 30 financial institutions, including banks, investors, insurers, and multilateral development banks, while partnering with the Mission Possible platform, the Energy Transitions Commission, and the Rocky Mountains Institute to explore transition pathways with heavy industry and transport sectors. Meanwhile, our CEO Climate Leaders, a group of more than 80 companies across sectors, have collectively committed to implement net zero targets.
Klaus just revealed that there is a platform that involves the Big Four, and on this platform, emissions are tracked for the goal of net zero. I see the world for what it is. I understand my role. I am going to take advantage so I can do good in my world.
Companies, investors, and shareholders can play a pivotal role in this transition by mobilizing capital toward the technologies and businesses we need to build the net zero future. A key is whether clean finance is actually at a lower rate than normal finance, and making sure that we're only assigning credit when it's done in a special way, taking unique risk, including backing innovations. We need to finance the transition, but bringing down the cost of that is where we should assign credit.
The whole financial system needs to be green. The net zero future is all industries, and it starts with banking and finance. Blockchain technology will bring the cost of the green initiative down. This is a PDF that I found on the Bank of Korea's webpage. In this document, it talks about Project Bondi. Quote, outreach of lab for partners. Ripple, Morgan Stanley, IBM, Digital Asset Holdings, and R3. This is a World Bank/Combank project. I believe that this updated blockchain-based instrument is an example of the digitization and green initiative that they're speaking about.
Technology is transforming the way we live and work. And in the world of finance, we are at the start of a digital revolution. The market for sustainable investing has evolved. But while the industry has become more digital, database technologies for financial products are still a black box. Imagine if we could use technology to provide large-scale financing to fund the projects that make the world a better place, while also making the financial transactions behind those projects more efficient, transparent, and secure. What if we could simplify the investment process and design new market structures that could one day streamline financial transactions in every corner of the globe? What if instead of taking days to complete transactions, we could do it in seconds? What if investors could trade the highest quality investments faster, at a lower cost, and with reduced risk? The revolution has started with the world's first digital bond, Bondi. The first issue of a bond using blockchain technology. Bondi has been issued by the World Bank in Australian dollars on a platform developed by the Commonwealth Bank of Australia. By using a blockchain, instead of registering transactions in a central system with a stored ledger, there is a single verifiable continuous record of information, a resilient distributed asset register, a single source of truth. And as the blockchain is secured, only those with permission can access the records. Participants can securely hold and trade the assets in a matter of seconds. We believe that blockchain technology will shape the future and make markets more efficient. The digital revolution in sustainable finance has begun.
Use technology to provide large-scale financing to fund the world a better place. I predict green bonds are going on the Bondi platform, the illusions of freedom. We already know that the technology is a success. It has been purposely held back by governments and central bankers because they wanted to use it. This is how they're going to use it. The benefits of blockchain and crypto will be displayed with their goals.
As you know, Europe has become a world leader in the issuance of green bonds. In 2019, around half of global issuance was concentrated in the EU. To keep that edge over the competition, deeper and more integrated capital markets are needed to accelerate the transition towards a digital and green economy.
Deeper capital markets that follow the lines of digitization and a green future. The infrastructure, the banks, technology, everything is going to align with these goals.
This current crisis has confronted us with a sudden social and economic challenge. Getting out of it offers a unique opportunity for transformation, an opportunity not to be missed. To seize this chance for the sake of our children and grandchildren, we must act now. No time to waste.
Never waste a crisis. To play a wrong note is insignificant. To play without passion is inexcusable. Beethoven. iTrustCapital offers IRAs. If you're in crypto and precious metals for the long term, iTrustCapital allows you to add precious metals and crypto assets to your IRA. If you enjoy my work, please consider joining my Patreon. The support I receive is helping me invest in new equipment, hardware, stock footage, artwork, and most importantly, my time. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Please remember to hit the bell for notifications.